Swaddy Cap, my name's Jed and I retired here to the beautiful kingdom of Thailand 5 years ago. Come and join me as I take you on a journey to discover the best that the land of smiles has to offer. Whether you're an expat, thinking of opening a business or working here in Thailand, or if you're a digital nomad looking to work in a more economical country than your own country, or if you're a holiday maker and you're wanting to know the best places to visit in this beautiful, diverse country, or maybe you're like me, a retiree looking for a better and cheaper place to spend your retirement during your golden years. Well, if that's the case, you've come to the right channel. A bit of a wet day in Hua Hin. I suppose the wet season's fast approaching. But we've had a lot of good days in between a little bit of rain, so can't complain. Today is one of the days that I hate about living in Thailand. There's not much I hate about living here, but there's a couple of things, and both of them are about immigration. Always a sore subject here in Thailand for expats. Today I've got to go and do my 90-day report. And you've got to do that 3 times every year, and then on the 4th time you go and do your 12-monthly visa. Today I'm going to take you to the Hua Hin immigration office in the Blueport shopping centre. They have 2 immigration offices here in Hua Hin. One's on the outskirts of town, quite a long way, maybe about a 15-minute drive from the centre of Hua Hin. And you go there to do your main visa for immigration once a year, and the other one is in the shopping centre, which is like a quick one to nip in to do your 90-day report. With the 90-day report, I think most expats hate it because they can't see what it's for. It just seems to be a complete and utter waste of time. I've lived in many countries. I've lived in 10 different countries, where 9 of them where I had to get visas for, and 1 of them where I was born. And out of all them places apart from Thailand, it's always been a quite easy and simple task to live there and get a visa. Thailand is a complete different kettle of fish. They seem to put obstacles in the way a little bit. I don't know why, because retirees, we're good people. We're not like tourists. We don't just come here for a few weeks. We spend all our money here, or I do. All my pension is spent here on rent, electric, running a motor vehicle, travelling, going to hotels and staying. So a lot of my money is helping the Thailand economy, but they don't tend to see it that way like some countries do. And that's when they tend to put obstacles in the way, like the 90-day report. The 90-day report, you've got to go there and tell them that you're still living in the same place you were living in 90 days ago. To me, it's a complete utter waste of time, because if you do move, you're supposed to go and tell them anyway. So why you have to tell them you haven't moved has always been a bone of contention for me. But I live here, and they've allowed me to live in their country. So even if it is only on a yearly basis where I get my visa, they've still said, yeah, you can stay. So I'm not complaining. Honestly, Prime Minister, I'm not complaining. I love it here, and I'll jump through the hoops that you hold every time. But you know, if you are watching, Mr. Prayot, if you could make it a bit easier, especially now in the days of COVID, when the economies all over the world, not just Thailand, have taken a nosedive, then maybe you'd get a lot more people wanting to live here if it was a little bit easier to come here. I would love to buy a property here. I really would. I'd love to buy a condo or a small house and put down some roots. But with me only getting a yearly visa and then have to reapply again every year, then it makes me a little bit worried, because you know, governments can change their rules. So I mean, I could buy a house this year and think, oh, okay, this is great. But I go to do my visa next year and the rules change, or maybe they say, oh no, we're not having retirees anymore. So it's a little bit of a concern to me to put down roots too much. If I lived in Malaysia, I think they have a 10-year visa. Well, that's good for me. I'm 71 this year. 10 years would be 81. So yeah, I do that maybe twice if I'm lucky, 2 10-year visas. But doing it every year, it's a pain. But anyway, that's what I got to do, and I'll show you what I've got. I've got my passport, and I've got my old 90-day report in there. You've got to show them your retirement visa, and you've got to show them where you live. You need a lease from your house, or to show that you own a house, you need the documents to show that where you are living. Now, this is the first time I've ever done this by staying in a hotel. Every other time I've been living in a condo or a house, never in a hotel. And I've got this from the hotel saying that I'm staying here, but it only says that I'm staying here for 5 days, because I've only checked in for 1 week, because I'm not sure of my intentions. So this is going to be a new one for me as well. I see how they accept a 90-day report with me staying in a hotel for only a few more days. I hope it's all going to be okay. But at least I'm doing it in Hua Hin. Hua Hin for me has always been the best place to do a 90-day report. They don't make it so hard for you. Whereas when I was in Koh Samui, it was very hard. They want everything, and they, you know, you're going back and forward 2 or 3 times, because when you go there, they ask for something else, and then you've got to go back and sort it out, and then take it back to them. But here, it's always been simple. It normally only takes me 5 minutes. Let's go and see. Let's go and see what's going to happen with my next 90-day report. But before I head off to immigration, here's a little bit of an update on the Thailand Pass. From the 1st of June, Thai people returning to Thailand will not have to apply for the Thailand Pass, but unfortunately foreigners will still be required to do so. But apparently the process for foreigners to enter Thailand will be made easier with quarantine for land and air arrivals to be scrapped for those who are not fully vaccinated. But you must either take a rapid antigen test within 72 hours prior to your departure, or upon arrival in Thailand, and the insurance cover will still remain at $10,000 US. I applaud the Thai government for doing this, but I think it's much too little too late. And that the Thailand Pass scheme has been far too confusing and complicated for most people. And with the European and US says summer's beginning soon, I think many people will be looking closer to home for their holidays, at least until the winter months start to get closer in November in those countries. But for me, to be honest, this is perfect. Without the tourists, because look, I've got the whole place again to myself. I know I'm being selfish, but you know, I want tourists to come back, don't get me wrong, because of the people of Thailand. They need them. The people who work in tourism, the economy, it needs tourists. I think there was 40 million came in 2019, which is pre-COVID, but now they're down to hardly any tourists at all now. And that's only going to get worse with the wet season fast approaching. They're not going to see tourists in any significant numbers, at least until November of 2022. And it still remains to be seen. You know, people are still nervous about travelling. A lot of people don't want to go on overseas holidays anymore with what's happening in the world. There's a lot of people, not just what's happening with COVID, but now there's this new monkeypox, and then there's the war in Ukraine. So Russians used to come here in big numbers, but with the war being there, I think a lot of them, you know, their minds are at home, trying to sort out the problems that their country have. So I don't think they're going to be coming back in any big numbers until at least November, and even then I don't. You know, I live in hope, but I just can't see that they're going to get lots and lots of people like they did in 2019. So this is the Blueport shopping centre. It's on Pratakasam Road, opposite the Intercontinental Hotel. Lovely shopping centre. It's not that old, I think only about 5 years old, but it's not doing very well since COVID. Just down that way probably 2 or 3 minute drive is Market Village. That's the main shopping centre here. But this is probably, well, it's obviously the second biggest, but it's definitely not the busiest, that's for sure. And the immigration is downstairs on the lower level. They don't open till 11 o'clock, immigration. So I've got a little bit of time to wait. It's about 10:30 now. I'm going to go and have a coffee and then go and do my dreaded 90-day report. So I decided to forego the coffee, and the smell of the food cooking here got me a little bit hungry. I never had breakfast this morning, so this will be sort of like a brunch. So I've come to, let me show you, Kentucky Fry here in Blueport. I got a 2-piece chicken and a Pepsi Cola, and you can get a free refill there if you want. And that came to, let me see, 99 baht. 99 baht being round about $3 US, maybe 4 Australian dollars, and a couple of quid if you're back in the UK. So very cheap meal. They've got a large food court area with just about every type of food imaginable. KFC plus all these different Thai outlets. A little bit more expensive here than when you go to their food area downstairs in Market Village. A lot cheaper down there, and no different, to be honest. The price is a lot cheaper, but the food's the same. And this shopping centre has a lot of designer shops, you know, your high-end shops that sell expensive clothing and expensive jewellery. It's not like Market Village. Market Village tends to cater for your average person, I suppose, where this is more for your tourist and your upmarket high-so Thai people. High-so meaning high society. And a lot of the shops are selling expensive equipment. There, 13,200 baht for one golf club. So that's why this shopping centre is suffering, because there's not a lot of money around now in Thailand, unless you're one of the high-so people who own Chang Brewery, or you're a government official, then maybe you can afford to shop here, but your average Thai can't. It's mainly for tourists, and because there's no tourists coming now, or very few, this shopping centre is really struggling, but they've got the money to do it. It's a big company, whoever owns this. They can outlive the bad times, and they can wait until the good times come again. But as you can see, there's no one here, hardly anyone shopping. Goes up 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, and then another floor downstairs, where if you come here you'll find immigration is on the lower level, and there's parking downstairs out of those doors. You just come down the ramp and park your motorbike or your car. This seems to be like the cheapest place to rent, I would imagine, because the cheaper shops are down here, not your high-end shops that are on the other levels. And we just go down this way. They've just moved the office, actually. They've just moved the office to a different location on this floor. It's a bigger office, and the seating area is now outside because of COVID, whereas before it was inside. And they obviously didn't want lots and lots of people sitting inside breathing in perhaps germs. So they've moved it down here. And there's normally a fairly big queue, because it's the one that's in town, and it's the one just to do your little bits and pieces like your 90-day report, or if you're here on a 30-day visa and you want to stay longer, you can come here and renew your visa, I believe. But you can't do your main retirement visa here. So this is immigration at Blueport. They open at 11 AM and they close at 5. But the strange thing is, it says that they close between 12 and 1 for lunch, so they only open for an hour.
apparently, between 11 and 12, then they close for lunch. I've never been here during that time, so I don't know how true that is, but it seems a bit strange to open at 11 and then close at 12. But there's quite a few people waiting outside. It's always like this, but they do get through them quite quickly.
So that went quite well. I was only in there about 10 minutes, and they accepted my hotel accommodation letter. So I'm okay for another 3 months. I'm not sure when that next one, where I'll be. I'm thinking of heading back to Koh Samui soon, so it might be done there, but I hope not, because it's always much harder to do it in Koh Samui than it is in Hua Hin. But you got to take the good with the bad, take the crunchy with the smooth. If you're living in a place like Koh Samui, it's so beautiful and so nice to live there that okay, maybe immigration's a bit tough, but it's well worth the effort. Well, I was just about to leave Blueport, and I came across this. I thought, what's an old Mini doing sitting here? You normally see new cars that are for sale or from a dealership, but as I got closer, I looked and saw that it was an aquarium. It's very unusual. Never seen anything like this before. Looks like someone drove it into the ocean and it's been abandoned. But that's fantastic. So if you haven't already done so, please push the subscribe button. It'll help me a lot. Thank you very much. And push the thumbs up button. And if you know of anyone who might like to watch my videos, push the link button and forward that to them. If you're thinking of retiring or living in Thailand, please take a look at my book, The Retiring Thailand Handbook, the first 6 months. Find it on Amazon. It's crammed full of information to help you tiptoe over the logistics of making Thailand your home in retirement. Thanks a lot for watching my video. So until next time, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now.